On this episode of Movie Reviews with Goatee and Stache, we'll be covering Despicable Me 2 and Pacific Rim. Unfortunately, I'm alone. Hello boys and girls, and welcome to the show. As I mentioned in the intro, I am by myself today. Unfortunately, my good friend Justin Miller, my co-host, my co-pilot to our Jaeger that is Movie Reviews with Goatee and Stache, cannot arrange in his schedule to fit a record in. I do have his views on these movies, and we'll be bringing those up. But unfortunately, you're going to have to power through just say me. But I am not alone. I do have a co-host. Say hello to my good friend Dave. Say hello to the friends out there, Dave. Yes. Alright. Well, Dave, first we're going to dive into your movie, Despicable Me 2, which you are a big star of. That's right. Hang on a second, Dave is apparently had one too many bananas and he's a little drunk. Oh no, we've gone yellow. Yellow with banana fever. Dave, you're drunk. Go home. Anyways, so Despicable Me 2, it's a sequel obviously to the first Despicable Me, a classic kids comedy animated film with lead Steve Carell as Gru, our lovable hijinks master. In this encounter, of course, we see him discovering new things, love, and the world of being a spy, where instead of being a master criminal, he is forced into the role of hero in this as he tries to find the culprit behind a secret formula that turns otherwise timid creatures into snarling beasts, you know. Like, a few drinks can sometimes turn most women into snarling beasts. But that's just my experience. But as we see the return of all of our favorite characters, we also see some new characters. Benjamin Bratt plays the role of El Macho, or I think it was El Muchismo, maybe? I think it was El Macho. And then Kristen Wiig as the lovable yet quirky sidekick, the tall, gangly, red-headed spy girl with a secret crush on Gru, I believe. A very good comedic movie, very funny. A little heavy on the fart jokes, but I have potty mouth humor, so toilet humor as they call it, so I laughed so many times. I love the fart blaster. It's a good time. So it's a very good sequel to this movie, as we saw he switches role from bad guy, supervillain, to spy, and he does that very well. Gru is a great character. I love the sort of hesitance that he has in the things he does, and he experiences love. You know, they have a flashback sequence very reminiscent of my past, where he tries to give a flower to a cute girl on the school grounds, and everyone says, "Oh, you got cooties." Which, come on, cooties, really? It's a little old, isn't it? Circles. But it's an interesting character transformation you see with Gru, and I definitely enjoyed it. It's good to see him come out of his shell in that regard, and you get to see the continuation of him being a great father figure, which is also very good. Very funny movie. Storyline was, as far as, animated kids comedy movie, it's got a decent storyline. I mean, not as thorough as many, but still, very funny movie. Definitely worth watching. Justin did mention in a text that he felt that it was better than the first one, although in my opinion I felt the first one was stronger, but as you know, people do, they have difference of opinions. So, anyways, let's see what Justin had to say. Quote, Justin Miller, aka the Stache. I really like this movie. I am usually not a fan of most animated movies that come out because they are either too kid-oriented, which is fine because that is who they are for, or too oriented to trying to be wink-wink at the adults who are in the audience. For example, Shrek. The whole Shrek series was kind of aimed at children, but at the same time, there were a lot of nudge, nudge, hey, hey, joke about something that they don't understand, but adults get it. Yeah, they get it, and that's why they're laughing. And kids are looking at it like, what are you laughing at? I was like, don't worry about it. You'll find out at school anyways. Anyways, moving on. This one was one that walks the fine line of entertaining both kids and adults very well. The movie kept my attention the whole time, and I laughed more than any other movie I've seen this year. All the voice actors did a pretty solid job overall, and the plot was good enough to keep presenting new set pieces and various comedic elements. The Minions stole the damn movie for me, though. Holy hell, I love those little dudes. Sorry, Dave. Come back, Dave. Come back, Dave! Dave, you sit next to me, buddy. I like your banana. Don't ever try to take a banana from a Minion. They are comedy gold, in color and in value. I honestly can't wait for the Minion movie next year. Plus, Don Draper himself is in it, so there you go. Don Draper. I may have to Google that one, boys and girls. My buddy Justin, he's definitely a fan of Don Draper. He loves him some Mad Men. So I'll have to look up, see which one he played. I may even add it, a little bar right there at the bottom. Alrighty. So, let's go to a quick clip from Despicable Me 2, hopefully starring one of these guys. I don't know what it is yet. What do you think it's going to be? Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hello, Lucy. This is Gru. I know up to this point our relationship has been strictly professional, and you're leaving for Australia and all, but... Okay, here is the question. Would you like to go out on a date?
No.
Okay, that's not helping. All right, here we go. For real this time. I can do this. I hate you!
And we're back. All right. That was a great clip, wasn't it? Yeah. All right. And as we wrap up here with good old Despicable Me 2, go ahead and give our... Apparently he didn't give his view. But from what I can tell, I would say Justin would say that was a solid A. For me, a good 4 out of 5. It had everything that you were expecting. Comedy, fart jokes, Minions mischief, great characters in themselves. Don't speak a damn word of English, but hey, I loved them. Okay, so here we go. This is the money maker. This is the big ticket one. This is the one that we've been waiting for a long time. Pacific Rim. Monsters and robots fighting to the death. What? I mean, it's a boy's fantasy lived out in a movie. And to boot, they threw in a hot Asian girl. Best thing ever. Alright? So, we got so-and-so guy. I don't know names. My savant's not here to do names. But your main character, blonde-haired dude from, you know, Sam Crow. Why am I blanking? See, this is why I need Justin. This is why I need him. He is a savant for this stuff. But anyways, we got our main guy. He's hooked up with his brother. They fight with their Jaeger. They're taking on a kaiju. Shit happens. It happens. His brother gets yanked out and they're connected. It's horrible. You know, so this movie starts you off with awesome kick-ass. Right from the get-go, boom, kaiju. Boom, Jaeger. Fighting in Alaska, saving a boat. I love the boat thrown in. It kind of adds a little aspect of panic. But you see him taken out by himself by the end. From the beginning, you go on, this guy is a total BA mofo. So let's do a quick little search here. Because I don't want to be a total idiot on this. Now mind you, this is recording non-stop. I'm not cutting this out. Because it's really handy to have a computer right here where you need it. Alrighty. So we got Charlie Hunnam. He plays Rayleigh Beckett. It's an interesting name. But we're going to not divulge into that. Definitely popular for Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, you can't see it anyways. Good looking fella. Solid action star, I found. I didn't realize he was so good at Kung Fu. But one thing I didn't like about him at first was I really felt his character from Sons of Anarchy kind of leaking through. Like at the early going, he's got his you know, pants with his hands in his pants, kind of challenging you in that way. Very reminiscent of his character in Sons of Anarchy. So at first, he kind of got stuck in that little niche, you know, that little hole of what his old character was. But he worked through it, and I think he did a great performance. He was a good kind of smarmy, cocky, confident guy. And he takes down, let's see who we got here. We got his brother, played by Diego Kletnoff. There's a name for you. Played Yancey Beckett, who gets taken out at the beginning. And then Idris Elba. We're going to do a little IMBD. Love this website. Quick access to all kinds of stuff. He was in Thor. Loved him as the gatekeeper. Prometheus fame. So he's got some good movies under his belt. I loved him as the military leader. He did a great job. No nonsense, straight to the book. And then, of course, we got our feminine character, Rinko Kikuchi, who plays Mako Mori. Now, I think her character was very important to the entire storyline of this movie, because just robots versus monsters, you're gonna lose something. You know, it's like you know, Godzilla. You know, there's not really a whole plot line to it, is there? You know, Godzilla comes out, he starts destroying everything, and you know, the Japanese people just stand there going, "Ah, Godzilla!" They're like, what are we gonna do? He's a really big monster. We can't do nothing. Well, military, shoot things at him and then get stepped on like little bugs, until for some reason another monster comes along and fights him. So there's not a lot of plot line to that, but she adds so much more to the movie, just in her character, Mako. Sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrong. She's not a whale. Anyway, so she adds not only a potential romantic interest for our main character, Rayleigh, but she also provides you a sympathetic character in that, you know, you get this experience through their rifting with one another. Or drifting, sorry, forgive me. Drifting with one another, you get to see why she hates the kaiju. Yeah, I said it right. Kaiju. Why she hates them so much, because they killed her parents when she was young. You know, she's kind of taken back during the drift process to the day that it happens. And you got this weird sort of crustacean kaiju. Looks like a crab lobster thingy, and just freaking out, destroying everything. And it's running about, and it's actually at one point chasing her, and she runs down an alley, so on and so forth, and then you get to see everything that happens, and then you find out what her connection finally is to Stacker Pentecost. Epic name, Stacker Pentecost. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. This movie has the most epic names I've ever seen. So anyway, so you see her connection because he's the one in the Jaeger that saves her, and thus the connection, and why he's so hesitant in letting her compete for position as co-pilot to Rayleigh. So she adds that dynamic as well, not only the romantic interest, but the sort of sympathetic character. You definitely could put yourself in her shoes, like, yeah, I want to get out there and beat the hell out of monsters and kill my family too. Plus, she's a badass fighter. I mean, their little fight scene, Rayleigh and Mako, did it again, is pretty sweet. It's very, I can't really think of the word right now, but it kind of reminiscent, kind of a prelude to something. You get the sense this is like, well, I don't want to call it this, but this is the best word I can think. Foreplay, because you realize there's going to be a romantic interest there, because the drift is this magical connection between the two people through the computers. They experience each other's memories. They know each other's thoughts. Therefore, they're more intimate in that one moment than two people can be in real life. So there's going to be an interest there. And so if we go beyond just the characters, we got also, I'll just go ahead and finish out some of the cast. We got Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I just now picked up on watching that, and I've watched the first 7 seasons. I love the show. Hilarious show. Charlie Day is crazy. Love his character. His high energy voice always cracks me up. You got Vern Gorman as his nutty sort of, I don't know what to call him, his colleague, as far as he's his yin to yang. They're two different kinds of scientists, but basically they're like a dynamic comedy duo in that situation. Vern Gorman plays Gottlieb, Max Martini is Herc Hansen, Robert Kaczynski, there are a lot of weird names, as Chuck Hansen. I wonder if he's related to Chris Hansen. Why are you here today? Anyways, and way down here, where he shouldn't be, he should be way up here, to be honest, is the immortal Ron Perlman. Plays Hannibal Chow. Charlie Day and Ron Perlman, I just love their scenes together. I love their correspondence with one another, and I wish they had a spin-off. I would watch, even if it went straight to DVD, I would definitely watch these two guys in a goofy comedy or something together. Great scenes. I love his character. Pimped out. Love the shoes. I have to say, though, I about threw something at the screen in the scene. And spoiler alert, if you guys... One sidebar here. If you guys are watching this right now and you haven't seen these movies, you should be seeing them first. Because that's the whole point of this. It's like, this is me and you talking about this movie, as well as me and Justin talking to each other. So this is correspondence. I want to hear your reactions to what I thought. You agree, disagree, you comment below. Share with your friends. All that stuff. Click like, subscribe. Moving on. But the part where Hannibal Chow, they destroy a kaiju, and I tell you what. Let's cut to this clip real quick. This is Charlie Day and Rob Perlman talking about getting a kaiju brain. Roll it.
I believe that kaiju bone powder is $500 a pound. What do you want?
I need to access a kaiju brain. Completely intact.
No. The skull plate is so dense that by the time you drill into it...
The brain's rotted away, but I'm talking about the secondary brain. Now, we both know that the kaiju are so large they need 2 brains to move around like a dinosaur. I want to get my hands on that.
What the hell do you want a secondary brain for anyway? I mean, every part of the kaiju cell. Cartilage, spleen, liver.
Even the crap! But the brain... Too much ammonia. So what's the deal, little fella?
Well, that's classified. So I couldn't tell you, even if I wanted to. but it is pretty cool.
Alright, kaiju brain, second brain, dinosaurs. Yeah. But you see they have a nice chemistry in that scene. Anyway, so they destroy a kaiju and they're moving on. They want to get the brain. Excuse me. So Ron and his crew run in there. They're gonna cut open the kaiju, get in there, get that second brain for him so they can do a drift. Saw it coming. I really did. And if you saw it coming, I think you'll agree with me. It was kind of obvious. When the baby pops out, freaks everybody out, and everyone thinks it's dead. And then Ron Perlman comes up, makes a big to-do about running away. Oh, I wasn't running away. Yada, yada, yada. Throws the knife, draws attention to himself. I'm going, no. Please don't, no. Ah, there he goes. He gets eaten by the baby. Now, that broke my heart. But luckily, the movie is so fast-paced, you really don't have a lot of time to dwell on what just happened. And that's another great thing about this movie. It's got a good plot. It doesn't overwork you on the plot. But it's fast-paced. It's always happening. Everything, you know, you're not... It's not the roller coaster ride. It's kind of a steady action, you know. So, that made me sad. But we get through everything, and I will say one thing. This is kind of odd. The storyline about, you know, the alien race on the other side of the rift, that they want to steal all the resources by destroying all of mankind first by sending large monsters in. A little sketch, but it's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. Still, it's exciting as hell. And of course we see, I can't remember this guy's name, Stache Pentecost, the big general guy. He does the ultimate sacrifice, but he takes one of the kids with him. He takes, let's see, what's his name here? Let's see, Chuck Hansen. Robert Kaczynski's Chuck Hansen. His father gets injured on the previous mission fighting the two kaiju that come across. And so, Captain Pentecost there jumps in, and they do it's kind of cheesy, you know. Like, if you do one more, you'll die. I have to do it for the good of mankind. Yeah, just go do it. Just go fight the monsters. Underwater battle, awesome. Sacrificing, nuclear explosion underwater. I thought that was awesome because, like, the water kind of cascades back really hard after, but after a moment there, you got giant whales falling like they're fish. But love that scene. A little bit of a kind of, wait, how does that make any sense? Because they make a big deal out of the fact that only the kaiju can go across the rift. And so you have to take one of the kaiju with you. And so he takes the kaiju, he tackles it, gnarls it up a bit, kills it, goes through the rift to drop the Jaeger to self-detonate and destroy the other side. But for some reason, they're still able to have their safety pods, get out of the rift, but you have to have a happy ending, you know. You already killed Ron Perlman. I'm going to get to it. You can't have the main character die. There's no love story there if he's dead. You know, she's half unconscious because she's lost her oxygen and everything. And then in the end, they have a nice little moment on their little floating life pod. And everything's happy, everything's great. And it's a great movie. I loved it. It's probably my favorite movie of the year. And it's not the greatest movie out there. You know, let's be honest. It doesn't have the best story. It doesn't have the best acting. But it has everything else that you want in a movie. It's constant action. It's entertaining. You're not bored. You enjoy yourself when you watch this movie. Many of the people I've seen on Facebook have praised this movie just like, I love this movie, I want to see it again. Because there's that kid inside of you that just wants to see robots smash the hell out of monsters. You know? So, great movie. I definitely give it a 4.5 out of 5. And let's go to Justin's review. He loved this movie too. I know he loved this movie. We want to go see it again. He's a little short on cash and busy. I'm a little short on cash, kind of busy. But let's see what my good friend the Stache has to say. This was the rare summer blockbuster that didn't piss me off this year. Yes, I found Star Trek good but lacking, and Iron Man 3 was a disaster. In its defense, it tried to do too much. It was like Batman and Robin. You know, you're trying to put too much into it, and it just is a giant cluster F. Pacific Rim was amazing, though. Del Toro promised robots punching sea monster beasts and delivered. Yeah. The main complaint people are having is a lack of plot development, but they can go to hell. His words, not mine, people. And I already admitted there wasn't a lot there for plot. Let's see. This is his question to the people who are against it. Did you really go to Pacific Rim expecting some Argo-like boring plot movie? Sidebar, Argo? Boring as hell. Great story, great actors, boring as hell. I bought it on Blu-ray and I was just kind of like, the most exciting part of it was the fakest part of it, which is sad. Like that last little bit wasn't even real. Anyways, wrong theater, buddy. Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy is good enough, although sometimes he is distractingly bad at acting. Yes. That was something, he just reminded me of something with that comment. If you listen carefully, at one point, he does lose his accent. Or actually, he doesn't lose his accent, he gets it back. Like, he's trying to be American, but, he's not American, and it slips. And it was very obvious. It was just kind of like, ooh. Anyways, moving on. I liked him in Frankie Go Boom, and Sons of Anarchy is amazing, but sometimes he didn't click here. That's my only complaint. Frankie Go Boom is a comedy, starring good old, what's-his-face, Charlie Hunnam, and Ron Perlman. See, Ron Perlman is in everything. Check the credits. He is the white Samuel L. Jackson. I guarantee it. You should see this guy's IMDb. He is the busiest man in Hollywood. I guarantee. He does so much voice work. Anyways, we're going to get to that. You just wait. We're going to have a special for Ron Perlman. I guarantee it. Alright. Also, Idris Elba is the man. I love the weird 80s action movie character name of Stacker Pentecost for him, and how he has to suit up for one last mission and then they basically detonate a freaking nuclear reactor at the bottom of the damn ocean. And Charlie Day and Ron Perlman as Hannibal Chow, he spelled it wrong, where the episode of It's Always... hang on. Okay, Ron Perlman and Charlie Day were the best comedic duo on screen in a while. They only had a few scenes together, but they had amazing timing. I'd love to see Ron pop up on an episode of It's Always Sunny. That would be awesome. And Ron's shows are beyond words. I really hope he got to keep those. Shoes. Typo. See, boys and girls, it helps to do pre-production. Even now, I didn't do any. I need this because I'm having a hard time focusing on one sentence. Yes, but his shoes were amazing. I really hope he got to keep those, and when the damn robot goes to space and slices that flying monster, I can't say enough about how badass that movie was. It sucks that it bombed because you can pretty much kiss goodbye any original summer idea now. It's all going to be superhero movies, reboots, and sequels. And that was an amazing scene. And it was kind of like, oh yeah, we have a sword now. Oh, really? Cuts the damn wing off. It's like, you could have told me we had a sword 20 minutes ago, when we were trying to punch the monster to death. Anyways, so we both love that movie. I'm going to go ahead and say A+ on his end. The Stache would give that one probably an AA+. That one definitely got a 4.5 out of 5 for me, as I mentioned. Alrighty, so let's move on. You heard what we thought about it. Now we're going to look at some other movie real quick. Justin wanted me to pass along this information to you. He went to go see The Conjuring. It's a movie about paranormal activity in someone's house and blah blah blah. Same old, nothing new under the sun. But he recommends that you don't see this movie. Quote, The Conjuring, do not see this movie. It is getting great reviews, but that is because people are idiots. The thing is that most generic I'm going to paraphrase on this one. This is the most generic of haunted house tropes. Tropes? I don't know. Are you scared of a crappy doll? Does a little girl's leg pulling scare you? If you are, then I guess this movie is for you. Pardon the movie guy voice. There was a kid of about 8 in the row in front of my fiance, and he was laughing at all the scary moments. See, now that is, you don't want to laugh at the scary moments. It's like Jason X. It came off like a comedy to me. It's supposed to be like this freaky slasher flick, but I just laughed. You know, when they ran the simulation in Jason X to distract him of the 2 camp girls, who's like, you want to smoke pot or drink alcohol, or we can have underage sex. We love underage sex. And they get in the thing, they're giggling, and he just walks up to him just like going, this is not going to be good for you. And they cut back, and he's slamming one of them into a tree, and then smashes the other one with the one he's carrying. And I was just going, that's not your aim. That shouldn't be your aim. Alright, so it got to the point that it was so generic and easy to see where it was going that we left after about an hour. Wow, he walked out on that movie. I haven't walked out on a movie in years, and she never has, but we both agreed we stayed about an hour too long. I am a man that sat through both Pain and Gain and World War Z. So this should tell you what a turd this movie is. Definitely the worst movie this year, maybe the last 2 years. I'd have to think about that. If you want to see a good horror movie, I would recommend checking out Mama on DVD right now. Buy it at your local Kmart. Not the best movie by far, but Nikolai Coster-Waldau from Game of Thrones and Oblivion is always great, and got shafted at the Emmys. We're getting political here now. And Jessica Chastain is probably my favorite working actress, not named Kathy Bates. Yeah, she's funny. Also super excited for The Counselor this October. I don't know that movie. I'll have to look that one up. Ridley Scott directed and Cormac McCarthy script written, plus Michael Fassbender is the man, and Javier Bardem is never in enough things. Okay, so that'll wrap up Justin's view on these movies. Also, you heard his warning. We're not sure what's going to happen. We both have very busy schedules coming up here, boys and girls. So we're not sure how often this is going to happen, or if I'm going to have a co-host for a while. You might be seeing more Dave. He's quite a talker, as you heard. I definitely would like to do the Wolverine. Even if I have to do it by myself, I'll get decked out. I will be Wolverine if I have to be, and then I'll interview myself. But it's looking a little tough right now. Plus, we're going to get into a little lull of the movies. I think it's going to slow down a bit. Maybe not get as many good ones. So that's where we're at with everything. And that will just about do it for us this episode. Sorry for the delay, boys and girls. As I said, we've been having scheduling conflicts. We both work, a lot, so it's kind of hard to find time for these things. We're not big time YouTubers. We can't live off of T-shirts and YouTube whatever monetary things that they do. So we got to do it when we can, and we'll get the product to you. And I'm sorry if I was boring by myself. I'm only one man. I can only do so much. But thank you if you stuck with me this long. Look for the Wolverine. I may do that one by myself too, but if that happens, que sera. So thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Links below. Facebook page. Go on there, give it a like. And I'm still open to people commenting, suggestions, movies you'd like to see. We don't even have to do the newest movies. If you want an older movie, you want to see our take on it, suggest it. If it's on Netflix, suggest it. I may make it my Netflix nugget for the next show. But that's up to you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and enjoy the movies. Later.